6 chill, fool, for real.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. I woke up from my arrest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah.
We are officially in the Day of Atonement. Everybody online, so get your sticky notes, throw out your water bottles, prepare yourself because it's going to be hard on some of y'all that haven't done this before. So you got to prepare yourself ahead of time for this high holy day. One day it's easy. It's easy one day. You know what I mean? But you got to prepare your mind, get your mind ready for this. We're going to start out with questions for the Shabbat. And it's a double Sabbath tonight. Remember that? So we got to try to keep our minds in the right place, man. Keep your minds in the book. All that arguing, I always say it on the Sabbath. You want to try to cut that arguing out on the Sabbath. You know how you try to get into it with family members and people want to argue more on the Sabbath. The demons are out there. The Goonies are out there. They're going to try to cut you off in traffic.
Right.
They
get you out the spirit.
Yeah, they get you out the spirit. They got demons on them already out there. It just seems like that, though. Every Sabbath is like...
Oh, yeah. Something got to...
Yeah, like in the streets, like cats is trying to cut you off or do something weird. So you got to watch out for that. We have classes in Houston, Virginia, San Antonio. So if you guys want to be a part of that, you can go ahead and hit us up. We have, we're going to be doing classes in other areas. We are trying to do it at the pace, the correct pace. You know, once again, we're not trying to just hand out t-shirts and, you know, it's not about that. It's about really getting the word out there and doing it the proper way. So we're in some other areas. There's brothers scattered that we're dealing with in other areas. And if you want to congregate in that area, just hit us up. You never know. We might have somebody in that area. Okay. What else we got here? What else? Blog Talk Radio. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. Check that out. Check out San Antonio's YouTube. They've been coming with some good classes. Y'all check those out. They got some good stuff on there. ISB, what is it?
ISBHPK San Antonio.
ISBHPK San Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so check that out too. What else we got here? So we're in the Day of Atonement. All right. So on the 30th is going to be the Feast of Tabernacles. So tonight sundown to tomorrow sundown. Tomorrow sundown, you can start eating again, drinking water, doing all that good stuff. All right. Israel wear.
Damn.
Israel wear. If y'all want to get garments, shirts, fringes, headbands, girdles, whatever you need. Yeah, they're doing a lot of that, killing police now. Hey, y'all gotta that video I just sent out. Y'all gotta watch that because they're
They got shot in the face.
yeah, another officer just got shot in the face. Yeah. Let me get through this. Hebrew Academy. You know, once again, man, This is not a game, man. Cats, they vow things, they say they're gonna do things, and then they don't stick to it, because the Most High is gonna prove everybody. The Most High proves everybody, man. You know, when you come to serve the Lord.
What you do?
When you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation.
Come.
The Most High is proving cats. You cannot get this knowledge and think that you're just gonna come in and it's like church.
Sit up on it.
All right, this proving is not a man. The Most High is gonna prove what type of individual you are if you believe. So y'all gotta see that, man. I'm laughing because a lot of brothers and sisters get the knowledge, they get the truth, and they think it's a game. They think it's church. They think it's I'm gonna come and run my mouth and then not have to put up. And then the Most High put them in situations in their life that proves them for what they really are. So, you know, and I know y'all try to blame everything on man and the situations and it's this or that, but Most High ain't hearing that. Most High is not hearing that. He's dealing with you and moving the pieces in your life to prove what cat you are.
He said apply what you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this, man. As a matter of fact, let me get this out, and then I'm gonna give you one scripture. So if you want to contact us, our number's on the screen. If you want to be a part of the Hebrew Academy, consider that. Consider what you're going to get involved with before you do. If you want to donate, you want to give, help out the schools, help out with our rents, alms, whatever, that information is up there. All right? So go to Ecclesiastes 5 real quick. Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter.
Come.
And this is in the Bible. Yeah. Just real quick, man, because, you know, and this is to everybody. This is universal, man. It's universal. Ecclesiastes 5, verse 1. Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God.
Right. It's basically saying watch your step. Watch how you move when you come to the Most High. Right? You got to watch that, because this is not, it's not the church. You think I'm going to go to church and then everything's going to, you know, be all right and then it's going to be fine. You better watch yourself when you come and present yourself to the Most High, because that's what you're doing. You know, Hebrew Israelites, man, damn, one thing we like to do is talk about the churches, right? But then you come and do the same thing that you did in the churches.
You selling wolf tickets.
Yeah, you gotta watch that. You're not gonna come to the Most High and then do what you did in church, which is talk, praise with their mouth. Somebody get that real quick. Could you get that? Calvin? Yeah. Somebody, you know, you gotta understand this. So what he's saying here is very important. Y'all should pay attention to this. Go ahead.
And be more ready to hear.
Yeah, listen, Neiman, you got your Bible? Yeah, use your Bible, man. Y'all don't use your phones, man, to look up scriptures, because you want to get familiar with your Bible. Go ahead.
And be more ready to hear.
Be more ready to what?
To hear.
No, be more ready to talk.
To hear.
You already know.
To hear.
You already know what way it should be.
To hear.
Your rib already know.
To hear.
Right?
Than to give the sacrifice of fools.
Right. So be more ready to listen. So when you come to the house of the Lord, he's telling you something. Be more ready. Watch your step. Be more ready to listen. Because a lot of black people, Hispanic people, Native American people, they come with already the preconceived notions of, well, I already know. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that we do. We don't know. Because if you didn't know, you would have woke up. You wouldn't have been in the dope game. You wouldn't have been a whoremonger. You wouldn't have been an adulterer or idolater. you wouldn't have been calling yourself an American if you didn't know. Let's be real. You didn't know. We didn't know. So we got to stop coming like, oh yeah, I know that. I know. Like, you should be ready to listen, ready to hear. Go ahead.
Than to give the sacrifice of a fool.
That's foolish speaking. That's the way you speak foolishly. That's the sacrifice of fools. But we're going to get to this point. Go ahead.
For they consider not that they do evil.
Why? Because when you come to the Most High, you don't watch how you act, you don't watch what you say, and you don't understand that you're doing evil. You're doing more hurt to yourself. You know, that's why we tell brothers, before you sign that Hebrew Academy, know what you're getting involved with, because the Most High don't work like you did in the world. Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah. Like y'all know the Most High is not dealing with
No reneging.
You know the Most High is not dealing with no
Let me take
no
that back.
niggerism, man. The Most High is not dealing with that. So when you gotta watch, because you be doing evil instead of righteousness. Watch, read on, check this out. Go ahead.
Be not rash with thy mouth.
Be not what?
Rash with thy
A
mouth.
lot of brothers and sisters come in, oh man, I'm ready for the Most High. Oh man, I'll die for the truth. Oh man, I'm gonna give myself to the Spirit, right?
God.
And then the first little bit of fire that comes on you, you burn and you sizzle and you fizzle out. So you gotta watch and understand that you better be listening, really understanding. You can't come to this like you did the church, where you come in, you give the hoop-rahs, you holler, you praise him with your mouth, but then you don't do the works. I seen brothers get the household fall, wives leave, they leave, their family in discord, their mind chaotic. Why? Because they start saying things with their mouth and then don't keep them. Not to us. It's to the Most High, because you're saying it to the Most High. You're saying, Yahweh, you know what? This time I want to do it right. Right? The churches are fake. You know what I mean? They're the devil. This is wickedness. This is lies. But then you come in and you do the same thing you talk about. And the Most High is like, okay, so you coming in with your heart? All right, well, let's see. And he puts you through situations, man, that proves what type of individual you are. So you got to be careful how rash you are with your mouth and the things you commit to and the things you say you're going to do for the Most High. It's a danger. It's a danger to you. Now, don't fear to commit. Fear to open up your mouth and not commit to what you say. Right? He said, my little children, let us not love in tongue, neither in word, but in deed and truth. Most High's not dealing with that. He knows your heart. He knows our spirit. So he's going to prove you and reprove you. Go ahead.
And let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High.
You see that? You start uttering quick things to the Most High. Yahweh, if you give me this, please, if you do this for me, I'm going to give you my firstborn son. Guess what? He's going to want that firstborn son. What did he do to Samuel, to Eli's wife? Right? Which was Samuel, right? I think it was Eli, right? What was it? The father of Samuel? No, I'm mixing it up. I forgot his name. We could double check that. But Samuel was a vow to the Most High through the mother. And what did the Most High do? The Most High required that vow. Yeah. So you gotta watch what you're saying.
Even though she didn't want to do it, she was like, oh.
No, she knew what she was gonna do. She knew she was gonna do it, but the thing is, she knew she had to do it because she spoke it. So you gotta be careful what you're saying, and you're praying to the Most High, and you're asking, Yahweh, please get me right. I'll do whatever it takes. Really?
Oh, it's Hannah.
Okay. Whatever it takes? All right, well, I'm gonna see. Right? Go ahead.
Elkanah.
For the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth.
Go ahead.
Therefore, let thy words be few.
Right.
For
You see that? Let thy words be few. Meaning that you watch your step. Watch what you come in and you commit to. Watch what you come in and you say to the Most High, because it'll put you, man, you get burnt up. Now, I'm not saying some of us can't handle it. Remember, he gives you what you can handle. You can handle it, but a lot of y'all get caught off guard because you don't really know what you're committing to and what the Most High is going to put you through. Therefore, it's not that you can't handle it. It catches you off guard and you run. You pick up and you panic. You start losing it. You start, what's going on here? You know what I mean? My family's leaving me. My rib is this. And my wife this. My husband this. And brother and sister this. And then it's like, well, I can't handle that. I didn't ask for all that. Yeah, you did. You literally asked the Most High to be on his side and on his team. And when you're on his team, he's going to make your friends, your family, the world an enemy to him. Think about that.
That was good.
They're going to be enemies to him, and you're asking to be on his side.
Right.
So what are they going to be to you? Right. So you got to... oh, damn, my mama don't want to talk to me no more. Family, sister, brother. And then you're like, oh, man, why is all this happening to me? Ever since I came, ever since I started learning, ever since I started reading. But then you do this psychology on yourself. Ever since I started messing with y'all brothers. No, stop. Acting school is over, please. Don't come in here and be actors. We got to stop that. It's what you're saying to the Most High. So get ready for it. That's it on that. You got one?
Yeah, go to Deuteronomy.
Just real quick, man. And remember, and I'm bringing this out because we're going into the Day of Atonement. And in the Day of Atonement, we're fasting the whole day. We're fasting for our past sins. You know what I mean? We're fasting for our past sins for the past year. No food, no water. Right? So, this is the fresh start for you. For all of us. It's a fresh start to say to the Most High, you know what? I want you to really look at me. Like, really look at me and acknowledge me. And I want to walk with you. You know, but remember, that's between you and the Most High. So you got to be careful what you're asking for. That's my warning. This is Pandora's box. You open it up, man, all kind of things come at you. Where you at? Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 22, or verse 21. Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 21. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to wait for everybody to get there.
Yeah. And then we'll see if we got any questions. If we don't got any questions, we're going to go right into this topic. Okay, go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God,
read.
Thou shalt not slack to pay.
And what that means is that, you know, you're moving at your pace. You're moving slower than what you told the Most High what you were going to do. Thou shalt not slack. You're not going to put it to the side. That's one thing about when it comes to the Black, Hispanic, and Native American, we procrastinate. We start giving excuses. You know, we know that we should do something, but what do? I'll do it tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll do it next week.
Yeah.
That's what it means to do not slack.
Well, I'm not going to pay my vow because I got a good reason.
Right.
Which is, the brother over there. Like, y'all really think that's going to work? Like, who the hell do you think Christ is? A white kindergarten, 16-year-old kindergarten teacher?
Right, just letting everything slide.
Like, he's going to, like, let that one. Well, I didn't want to go over there because Shaquat. You know what I mean? I didn't want to fulfill my vow because, you know, how the brother looked at me or, my mom, my dad. You think that's really going to fly with the Most High? You got to think about that. That's the most. They ain't gonna fly with the Most High. Yep. It ain't gonna work like that. So be careful what you're getting involved with. This is like the mob. Oh yeah. The Most High is like the mob. You're bound by blood. Yeah. You know what I mean? God. This is like 21st Street. Sodeños. I don't know. Right. I'm just making up stuff now.
Right, like me.
Right. It's like you're bound by blood. And that's what, if these fake gangsters do it, how much more you think the Most High is binding you to what you're saying? So read that again.
When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
Thou shalt what?
Not slack to pay it.
Yeah.
Keep reading.
Mm-hmm. For the Lord thy God will surely require.
He'll do what?
Surely require it of thee.
Yeah, the Most High requires that of you. And a lot of times we think because we're saying this in the spirit that the Most High don't hear it. Yes, he does. But it says that the Most High requires what you said. Go ahead.
And it would be sin in thee.
It will be what?
Sin in thee.
Just like the priest said, it's sin whenever you do not do what you vow to the Most High. Keep reading. Mm-hmm.
But if thou shalt forbear to vow.
Oh, that means to forbear, that means you're not vowing. You're not going to do a vow. They said, okay, listen, let's say vow for $100 a month, right? I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay, well, good then. You're not doing a vow. Go ahead.
It shall be no sin in thee.
Because you did not vow. But keep reading.
That which is gone out of thy lips.
Read that again.
That which is gone out of thy lips.
Read.
Thou shalt keep and perform.
He'll do what?
Thou shalt keep and perform.
She will do what?
Keep and perform.
Yeah, the Most High said, whatever comes out of your mouth, you're going to do. So we got to see the Most High does not play. It ain't us. See, the Most High is a power, man. Just like you said, the mob. The Most High controls all. Yeah. The Most High is the boss of all bosses. That's why I love it, because you want to win inside. You just have to understand that, again, if you vow to the Most High, he requires it of you.
Whatever it is, if it's, man, he used the vow of money, Khan, but I'm talking about the vow of your spirit, your time, your dedication. Romans 12:1. You don't have to go there, but presenting your body a living sacrifice. That's the vows that I'm talking about. Like a lot of people is like they present their body a living sacrifice and then they renege. So be careful with that, man. Was that it?
Oh, you can finish that.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt keep and perform even a free will offering.
Read.
According as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God.
He vowed unto who?
The Lord thy God.
So you know what a free will offering is? So now you have regular vows, right? That you have to commit to, right? But then a free will offering is just something you say from your heart. You're like, well, it was nothing committed, but you said it to the Most High, right? It was nothing that had to be like law, right? You got those vows that, okay, like Day of Atonement, right? This is something you vow to in the spirit, following the laws and commandments. It's a law, right? So you do it, right? But there's those free will vows, man. You gotta watch what you're saying. Those are the ones, man, where you're screaming out and saying, man, Yahweh, if you do this for me, or I need you to do this for me, and then you will see what I do. And then he proves that. So a lot of things can be turned upside down because you'll go through it. You'll be proven to stick to that vow, and then you won't commit, and then that'll cause more commotion and chaos in your house and your family. So that's how the Most High works. All right, so what do we got online? Let's jump into that real quick.
Yeah, this is we have a question. Okay. Mm-hmm. It says, Shalom, happy Shabbat, happy Day of Atonement, Israel. My question is Genesis 4:1-2. This is Yah Benjamin King. Were the sons and daughters in Genesis 4, 1 through 2, Adam's grandchildren, or Adam had more children besides Seth and Cain and Abel?
Go there real quick. Genesis 4:1.
Yeah. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1.
Come.
So what was the question?
The question is, were these sons and daughters Adam's grandchildren, or Adam had more children besides Seth, Cain, and Abel? In Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1 through 2.
Go ahead, read.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And Adam knew Eve,
Right.
his wife,
Right.
and she conceived and bare Cain,
Right.
and said, I have got a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass.
Okay, stop. I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I think maybe the wrong question.
Say it one more time.
This is, he said, question is in Genesis chapter 4, 1 through 2.
Okay.
And he says, were these sons and daughters Abraham grandchildren, or Adam?
You got to repeat that. That's
Yeah.
repeat that question. Be a little more specific on what you're saying, because it's not clear. And I don't want to answer a question according to what I'm thinking. I want to answer a question according to what you're asking. So recalibrate that question and make it a little bit clearer to us so we can understand what you're saying. All right? What else we got?
Another question, Shara, Mariana. Is it okay to fast while nursing a child?
That's going to be up to the parent. What should have happened was you were supposed to pump. You were supposed to pump and make sure all your stuff was prepared before you got into the feast. So now, if you're brand new and this day is gonna mess up that feeding. Remember, man, the Most High, He's giving you grace. You're going to mess up, and if you didn't prepare ahead of time, you didn't prepare ahead of time. Because you were supposed to prepare. Okay, I got a day's fast, so I got to start saving. Right? I got to start pumping so I can make sure my child is fed. So if you didn't mess up, you got to feed your baby. You know what I mean? The Most High understands that. So yeah, you were supposed to think ahead of time on this one. But remember, the Most High, He knows everything. He knows our heart. He knows we're trying to rehearse the righteous acts, right? Let's go there real quick. You know, and you might know this, but just a reminder to all the new brothers and sisters. Go to Judges real quick, what we're doing. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 5 and verse 11.
Yeah, Judges 5 and 11. Go ahead.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
Right, that's us. See, we're hoping it's us, that we're going to be delivered from the noise of archers, which is the destruction. Go ahead.
In the places of drawing water.
The place that we draw the water is not just physical water, it's spiritual water. We're getting our water here. You learn, you a Hebrew Israelite in America. This is the place of drawing waters. Go ahead.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
So this is where we're in rehearsal time. And as you know, in the rehearsal, you don't get everything correct. So you're going to make mistakes, you're going to mess up, you're going to fall short. So don't beat yourself up if you didn't prepare ahead of time. But, you know, your child needs to eat, your baby needs to eat. So sometimes women need to eat to make sure their pump is able to feed their children. So feed your child. All right. So this is the rehearsal. Next time you'll get it right. Next time you'll be prepared.
Yep.
Right? Like you're supposed to be. All right. What else?
We have a question from Antonio.
Uh-huh.
Is 2 Peter's 2 and 4 and Jude 1 verse 6 talking about angelic spirits of God?
Right now, I'm not going to go into that because we got a lot of new people and they don't need to know about the angelic spirits to that level yet. They need to know how, going through the battles they're going through, how to battle those things. So that's just going to take us all the way into the quasars and drop you. Right now, we need to just, we'll get you on that. We could counsel with you on that by yourself. All right? But there's a lot of brothers and sisters that ain't getting the basics and that are going through a lot of things that they need these other basic things before we get into all that. All right, what else?
That's it for right now.
That's it? Did the other brother hit us back yet? Okay. We're going to give you a few seconds to try to... Who asked that question?
That was Yah Benjamin King.
Yah Benjamin King. We're going to give you a few more seconds to try to recalibrate that question. If not, we're going to move on and go right into class. So does anybody have any questions in here? Kenny? Jeff? Chris? Calvin? Anybody? Sis? Y'all got it? You got something? You sure?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, questions help brothers and sisters online. They help brothers and sisters in class. So, drop it.
It's pretty basic, but I'm pretty sure I got it. So, no food, no water, no drinking at all, no food at all, no snacks, no nothing, right?
No consumption of anything.
Gotcha.
No gum. No gum.
No sweet tarts.
Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It's okay. Remember, you're not, unless you drinking your mouthwash.
Right.
If you got a problem drinking your mouthwash, then don't brush your teeth. Other than that, if you're, I mean, you gotta tell Israel stuff like that. Like if you usually brush your teeth and swallow your mouthwash, right? Then don't do it. Other than that, brush your teeth, because this is a common one. Cool. Can I brush my teeth? Yes. A lot of y'all hard, hot has breath, brothers and sisters. Y'all brush y'all teeth. You know what I mean? Gargle it and spit it out. Long as it don't go down your throat, you ain't violating the atonement. That's all it is. We weren't supposed to eat. We weren't supposed to drink. It's afflicting your soul. That's what's gonna get your brain. You're gonna start thinking about your life when there's no food and water around. All right. So, was that it? Yeah. All right. Jeff, nothing? Okay. Did he hit back yet?
No.
Nothing yet. Nothing? Okay. All right, we're going to go into this topic. We've been holding this topic because we've been trying to touch on a lot of these other classes, man. You know, when we deal with these classes, a lot of our classes is based towards the spiritual battle that brothers and sisters are fighting. So, you know, a lot of knowledge classes we got. We got a lot of knowledge classes like Daniel's, Revelations, breakdown. Even the question the brother's asking about the angels, we got all that. On the other channel, we done went over that hundreds of times. Genesis 1, 2, 3, all that. We done touched over that many of times also. But we gotta deal with these classes, man, that are really haunting our brothers and sisters. Like a lot of y'all, what y'all battling now coming into truth. You know, a lot of spirit, a lot of knowledge classes. Daniel's the 7th chapter ain't gonna really help y'all when you battling lust, pride, doubt, hatred, your family, friends, people around you are separating. There's got to be something else. So that's why we've been going over a lot of those classes. But tonight we're going to touch on the Mamzar. All right? We're touching on the Mamzar tonight. We told y'all we wanted to do these series of doctrines that newly sprung up. And this came up about within the last 6 to 7 years. This isn't something that we've taught. This is something that new cats came up with out of nowhere, and you're going to see through basic understanding of the Bible. If you would know the basics of the Bible, you wouldn't even be talking about Mamzar. If you would have known the definition of what a Mamzar is, you wouldn't be talking about Mamzars are mixed people. So the idea with this Mamzar, let me explain it. Let me explain what they're saying a Mamzar is. M-A-M-Z-A-R. So what are they saying a Mamzar is?
So one of the things they say a Mamzar is a child born out of wedlock.
Right.
A lot of brothers and sisters think a Mamzar, again, is that if you weren't formally married, like a certificate, that the kid that was born from that woman and man coming together is a Mamzar.
Right.
Then you
we're gonna slow it down, and y'all gotta write this down, because that way y'all can really understand. That way, when it pops up and you're going through your YouTube feed, and you be like, yeah, oh, you're a Mamzar because you're mixed, right? And then you want to go hang yourself. First of all, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So, what is a Mamzar? Go ahead.
So, again,
you got to slow it down, because a lot of brothers and sisters don't understand this.
Right. Yeah, because there's many definitions of Mamzar for people, like mixed people. But the first one we're going to hit is about this illegitimate child. Because if you ask a brother, they'll say a Mamzar is a child born out of wedlock. So what you're going to write down, you're going to put first, we're going to go to the scripture that everybody goes to about the bastard. So that's going to be Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 2.
So a bastard is a Mamzar. Okay, that's the Hebrew word for bastard. Okay? And which is a bad translation, because in Hebrew it is Mamzar. Right? Well, in the English way to say it is Mamzar, right? So a Mamzar is a bastard. Okay? All right. Now the idea of the Mamzar is that if you're a bastard, then you can't enter into the kingdom. Okay? But now their interpretation of what a Mamzar is puts you in this slot of you not entering into the kingdom. Because if you're mixed, right?
Right.
Then you're a bastard, according to what they think. Right? If you're what else? Mixed. What else is
illegitimate child.
If you're an illegitimate child, you're a bastard. Right? So you see, it's confusion already. But according to what they're saying, not according to as we read the definition and as we read the scriptures. You know, so it's important, man. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and if you don't know this stuff, then when it pops up, you're not going to know, oh, damn, that's not even the definition. And most of our brothers and sisters, they don't go to the definition. They don't know. This is the thing. You don't know a lot of the Bible, right? So when you look at the Bible, you're going to look at the Bible from what you know. So therefore, a lot of misinformation can come from that. And that's how you got a lot of these cats coming up with this information is they don't know the Bible. Because as you see, when we go over it, it's so simple. But because they don't know the simplicity, the basics, the principles, these are the things that throw them off.
And then what they don't do is they don't go into the Hebrew. Not knowing that the Bible was translated from Hebrew to Greek. So whenever we start going into this word, we're going to start understanding the definition, the Hebrew meaning, and going through and just canceling out all these different thoughts that people have of what a bastard is, and we're going to show you exactly what is a bastard according to the Bible. But we're first going to start off at Deuteronomy chapter 22 in verse 28.
Deuteronomy 22.
My apologies. 23 and verse 2.
23 and verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
So this is where it begins at. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Again, like I said earlier, most people don't know Hebrew, so what do? Well, let's look up what bastard is in the dictionary. So I want somebody to go and look up bastard in the dictionary. Look up bastard in the dictionary for me. All right? And we're going to see exactly what Webster, what all these different Bible dictionaries or dictionaries give us as an example or definition of what bastard is. And actually, before I start, anybody in class, do y'all know what a bastard is or heard what a bastard is? Or what do you think a bastard is? We'll start with Calvin.
Illegitimate child.
Illegitimate, so you heard that before?
Yeah.
Illegitimate child, okay.
Fatherless child.
A fatherless child, right?
I was gonna say the same thing. Fatherless child.
Fatherless child, okay. Anybody online? What you got, Chris?
A kid born without their parents being married.
Okay, a kid born without their parents being married, all right. Anybody else? What do you got?
A married man who sleeps with another woman outside of his marriage.
Okay, a married man sleeping with another woman outside of his marriage. Okay. What do we have out here? Right. This is Bakar Gabar. They're saying a Mamzar is someone who has an Israelite father, but he the mother. We're going to get to that. All right, but I want somebody to read that definition. What's the definition of bastard? Go ahead. What you got?
Bastard.
Yep.
A strange person is a person born from certain forbidden relationships or from incest,
Go ahead.
as defined by the Bible, or a descendant of such a person.
What are you reading from?
Wikipedia.
No, give me go to Webster's 1828. Jumping. Webster's 1828. The definition of bastard. You got? You got something, King?
Yeah, it says illegitimate child.
An illegitimate child. And that's what I want to hit first, because this is kind of the first thing when you go up into Webster. The definition that they're going to give you is this, just like Dorcas just said, a child born out of wedlock. It says a natural child, a child begotten and born out of wedlock. So what that means is that if a child was born out of wedlock, in our eyes, they're saying that they didn't go through the ceremony, as in, I do, let me put the ring on you, baby, I'm begging, let's have the ceremony, we're married. That's what they believe consecrates a marriage. So what we're going to do, we're going to see according to the Bible, what, how do we know that a man and woman is married? Does it have to be by a certificate? Does it have to be by you going in front of the priest saying that I do? What makes a man and a woman married? Because they're thinking that just because a man and woman haven't walked the aisle and they have a child, this is an illegitimate child. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the scriptures and see what makes a man and a woman married in the eyes of the Most High. All right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 28, just to smash the illegitimate child.
Deuteronomy 22 and 28.
We're going to slow it down, not in a rush. Slow it down. Have everybody write it down. Because again, it says the illegitimate child may also be referred to as a bastard. It says a child is born to parents who are not married to each other.
Now, let me. Did you say that it's important to remind everybody why the dictionaries, history books? Did you say that?
No.
Okay, you got to say that. It's a reminder that, pick that up. We use the what? Zondervan. We use the Zondervan, but Zondervan ain't Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Zondervan is a dictionary, white man wrote. Now, in order for this to be used, what is the foundation? Right. So you got a lot of people going into the Zondervan, the Babylon, the Timbuktu, the Josephus, and they making that the foundation. That's not the foundation. So the books we use, listen to me, have to correlate with the Bible. It's not the other way around. In the Zondervan, it tells you that the Edomites come from Japhet. Is that according to the Bible? You see why you have to understand that? So what these guys have done is people are, what? The first thing I'm asked, what books do I need to get? You know the first response I say? The Bible. Because you can't come in, you like, brother, I need to get that Babylon the 10 book too. Oh, what's that book? I need to get that book about the Caribbean. Oh, I need to get that book about the Edomites. Oh, I need to get that fossilized custom. Oh, I need to get that Josephus. And you got all these books. But what you don't have is a foundation. And that's what they're doing. Then they're going in the books and making the book the doctrine instead of the word. So that being said, even in definitions, we're finding out the definition of a bastard, according to what the white man is saying, is not correct. But you have people that don't have no foundation in the Bible. They're reading what the white man's saying and say what? Oh, see, look, it says right here. But the Bible doesn't say that. Y'all get this? Now, who would know that? How would you know that the definition is not according to the scriptures? Yeah.
You gotta have studied the Bible.
You gotta have studied the Bible. So you see why a lot of new cats are coming in and they're asking for all these other books, but they're not understanding that whatever archaeology, anthropology, or history we're resorting to, because that's what we do, right? We deal with archaeology, anthropology, and history. That's where you got the icons, you got the you deal with the nationality and where this nation and people, how they went from here to there, right? The anthropology and all these things coming together, but it got to be what the scriptures. If not, then it's going to be chaos. And that's what you got now. You got young cats getting all this information and using whatever they want to solidify the Bible.
Right.
Y'all get that? That wasn't too fast, was it? Yeah. You know, we got to be clear with this, man. Because it's so chaotic that you start losing it. And then you got a lot of people thinking, oh, my parents didn't get married with a paper, so I'm a bastard. That's foolishness, right? So marriage. Let me see here. Before you go there, go to Genesis. Before we go to Deuteronomy 22:28, let's start at the beginning. Go to Genesis 2, and you're gonna read 21. Genesis 2:21. Let's read about marriage in the beginning. All right? Read that.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam.
Right.
And he slept. And he took one of his ribs.
Now we know that biblically this is all parable form. He didn't literally go and pull a rib out of Adam. And we go over that, and that's a whole another 2 hours. Just to get the gist of it, God went amongst Adam's people and took from among Adam and his kindred a woman. That's all this is saying. Just like when you get your woman, you go amongst your people, your kindred, and you what? You get a woman that is like you. A man shall cleave to his like. Right? So this is what is happening here. And like I said, we can go over all that. I'm giving you the Reader's Digest version of it so we can move forward. Go ahead.
And closed up the flesh instead thereof.
Right.
And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man.
Right.
Made he a woman.
Go ahead.
And brought her unto the man.
Right. So he made the woman and brought her unto the man. Now, you're dealing with two people coming together. This is what we're reading. Go ahead.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh.
Right. Now, do you just meet any woman on the street and say, yeah, that's my woman? No, what makes you bone and flesh and flesh? What? Intercourse. That's your woman. You lay with her. So this is what happened in the beginning with Adam and Eve. Now, I want you to look. Do we read about a ring, a cake? Do we read about
The vows.
the vows? Do we read any of that right now? Right? No. You know why isn't there? Because the most purest form of marriage was this way. A man honored by humbling and taking this woman. He honored that. Nowadays, when you honor and humble a woman, it ain't no respect. Why? Because she been honored and humbled by every other nigga in the hood. Right? But that doesn't disregard that we are supposed to still honor it. Because this was the proper way. Right? Read on.
She shall be called woman.
She shall be called what?
Woman.
So he took this woman from amongst the kindred, brought her to Adam, and they were bone to bone, flesh to flesh. How do you know that, Kazaki? How do you know they were together? Read on.
Because she was taken out of man.
Read on.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother.
Why is he leaving his father and his mother? Because he just got married. She just got married. All right? So two things we're learning here. Your mom and your daddy ain't got no say-so in your relationship, one, because you left your father and your mother and do what?
Cleave unto his wife.
And now you two are one flesh. Are you one pack of meat mushed together? So one flesh means what?
Together.
You guys are bound. Like your household, Chris, you and your wife and your child are one, right? You lock into the Creator, she locks into you, and your daughter is gonna lock and watch y'all and watch y'all example. You're one body, one flesh. You see how I didn't go through any rings, cakes, and all these things? Because this is the most purest form of what marriage is. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
And they shall be one flesh.
And they shall be what?
One flesh.
Yes, and you're going to be one flesh. Go to Ecclesiasticus 25:1, and then we're going to jump to Deuteronomy 22. Go to Ecclesiastes 25:1. So it says they're going to cleave together and be one flesh. Just on that point, what it means. 25:1 in the Apocrypha. So now we're understanding that the point we're bringing out is that a bastard is not someone that didn't have a piece of paper or didn't have a cake or a ring. That's not a bastard.
Right.
You come from parents that just because they didn't have a cake or a ring, that doesn't make you a bastard. Because marriage is determined when you guys lay together. And by all means, we had ceremonies. We did that. We had parties. Listen, during the time of Judges, it said Samson party 7 days. That's how we did our feast. It wasn't no 1 day feast. It was 7 days of partying and celebration. So we did that. But it wasn't like, oh, you know what? Since they didn't party or they didn't celebrate or they didn't buy the cake, you still humbled this woman. Y'all get this? Okay, so we knocking this out the box. Read that, Ecclesiastes 25:1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 1.
What's up?
Sister had a question.
Oh, you had a question? I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead.
So what about like siblings and they have different dads and like the mom, she got 2 baby daddies. So is that 2 marriages?
No, it's called adulterous. It's called a fornication. That's what happens. Is that what happens is because we don't acknowledge that sex is marriage, now you fall into adultery and fornication, right? Because you didn't acknowledge, oh, I laid with this dude, right? So she went and what? Laid with another guy. That is fornication and adultery. So now you fall into that. So a whole different situation, whole different class. And we'll go over that too. All right, read this. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
In 3 things I was beautified.
Yes.
And stood up beautiful before God and men.
Right. This is what's beautiful before God and man. Go ahead.
The unity of brethren.
The Most High loves the unity of the brethren, that ye be perfectly joined in the same mind, same judgment. 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. Go ahead.
The love of neighbors.
Right. The love of your people. The Most High loves this. Right? Go ahead.
A man and a wife that agree together.
A man and a wife that agree together. So one flesh is that physical and spiritual bond. You both are bonding together, agreeing, and saying we are married. Right? You got to think about it. Some of these cats, they call it eloping, right? You go to Vegas, you don't have an extravagant, or you go right to the courthouse, right? Really? Was that it? You trying to tell me that was it? First of all, the government had to tell me? Nah, that's not what we did. That's what Esau trying to copy how we did it, copying it wrong, set it up. Okay, so go to Deuteronomy 22, verse 28. All right? That's where we're headed? Mm-hmm. So we're going over the marriage part just to show you that, okay, just because you didn't have a paper or a ring or a cake, it doesn't mean you're not married. So that doesn't make you a bastard. Check that off of the bastard list. That's foolishness. All right? Marriage was determined, we're going to find out, when you lay with that woman.
And Kenny, you had a question?
Yeah, that was the rock.
25 and 1. Yeah, same. Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
So 2 things here. She's a virgin, means young woman of marriageable age. They tell you a virgin is someone that hasn't had sex, right? Well, virgin in the Bible, you can be a woman that haven't had sex, or you can also be a woman, a young woman still of marriageable age. You know, your husband died in the war, but you're still young, a young woman, right? You can still be known as a virgin.
So it's like she could still get married.
She can get married, exactly. That's why he says, like he says, read it again.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin.
That is a what?
A virgin.
So a young woman of marriageable age, right? Or a woman that hasn't had sexual relations. Go ahead.
Which is not betrothed.
Which doesn't have a man or is not promised to someone else. That's another thing we got to watch. And we're not going to go into all of it in depth, but if you meet a woman and she's like, oh, I got a friend, you can't be like, oh, you know what, add me to your friend list.
Right.
It don't work like that. Okay, sister, peace out.
I'm gonna outshine that man.
Yeah, like it ain't like, you know what, I can do what he can't. No, you can't.
Right.
No, you can't. You know what I mean? You know, statistically, you're not more endowed than any other man. Statistically, right? You know what I mean? You are not gonna do anything that this woman did with any other man. Is not gonna be none different. So when you know that she's promised to or are talking to someone, you cut that off.
Right, no friend zone, he said.
No friend zone. Ain't none of that, I'm just her friend and we go and drink coffee while she got a dude. We didn't do that in the Bible. The scriptures say, sit not at all with another man's wife. Okay? So the betrothal is important also. These are the things that we don't look at. Y'all get this? Y'all with me? Go ahead. What? Hold on. Chris.
Alright, so you said, suppose if the dude that go to war, he loses his life.
Yeah.
They married.
Yeah.
So still get remarried?
She can still be remarried, right? The Most High ain't bind her to to damn loneliness all her life. Now, so a lot of times, sisters in the back in the past, they didn't. Some of them just didn't, but it wasn't wrong for her to.
Okay.
Like Judith never got married again. You know, but when you look at the foolish Nabal, his rib, Abigail, when her husband died, she went and married David. Right? So it wasn't against the commandments to remarry after your husband's died. Long as he ain't alive, you can't remarry. Right? No. Y'all get that, right? And we can go over all these things. Remember, the class is over Mamzar, in proving that a bastard is not someone that was born to parents that didn't have a piece of paper. That's a whole crazy definition.
Right.
The white man got that way wrong. That's not a bastard. All right? So it's telling us here that the woman's not betrothed. She's a young woman of marriageable age. And what happens? Go ahead.
And lay hold on her.
Right.
And lie with her.
Why? Do you hear anything about ceremony? Do you hear anything about a ring? Why? No. You know why you don't hear that? Because Moses is reminding us that's the marriage. You can't lay with this woman and then act like she's not your wife.
Right. You ain't got no responsibility.
Yeah, it's like, I just hit it, hit and run just for fun, right? It wasn't none of that. So Moses had to remember, he's writing the law, reminding them, like, listen, if she's a young woman, she wasn't promised to nobody, she wasn't betrothed to nobody, and you lay with her, you shall do what?
And lay hold on her and lie with her.
Right.
And they be found.
Meaning, then it's known also, right? But you already lay with her. And this is where the thing with Joseph, where he wanted to hide her away privily, because she was found with child, but without the ceremony time. Yeah.
The Bible speaks of certificate of divorce.
Right.
It doesn't have a certificate of marriage, but you had to give a woman a certificate.
We're going to get into that. And we obviously know we're going to have to get into that, talking about it. So there was read the scripture again. It's going to tell us where it is.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin,
right,
which is not betrothed,
go ahead,
and lay hold on her,
right,
and lie with her,
go ahead,
and they be found,
read,
then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
There's your agreement. There was an agreement. Now, why is Moses telling you in this way? Why is he because how it's supposed to be read is read backwards. That scripture you just read and then go back. Read that.
If a man find a damsel.
No. Read backwards. You just read the scripture you just read, 22:28, right? Okay, I'm gonna read it. It says Deuteronomy 22:28.
You want the last precept?
Let me just do it. Let me just do it. It says here, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, right? And she shall be his wife. It should start from there. The agreement starts first. But why did Moses tell you that if you lay with her? Why? Because a lot of Israelites were niggas. Right. So what they would do is lay with them before the fact. But really, what are you supposed to do? You were supposed to set that agreement up first with the father. Hey, I want to marry your daughter. Then you come to agreement. There wasn't no courthouse, y'all. There wasn't no courthouse. This agreement was with the father and the man. Because you were taking something from the father, and you would have to pay that 50 shekels for the daughter, right? And then you will go perform the marriage. That's how it was all done. And I didn't want to take this into a marriage class, but I know there's a lot of y'all that are new to this. So I want to be clear on this. We don't want to just skim over. But this is important dealing with marriage. So we're not just going to breeze over this, because then you will lose a lot of certain specifics that need to be shown in here. So what you're saying, what are you asking?
If they be found.
Okay, that means that everybody, right, meaning that everybody knows that Calvin is married to the sister LaShawn. It's known. You see that? But what happened? Calvin and LaShawn might have hooked up before it was known. But now it's known. All right? Like when a brother comes in, if a single brother comes in, he don't know who's married. He don't know that y'all already were married, right? But when he comes in, he might ask, hey, who's LaShawn? Who's that? Who's her husband? Oh, she's married. It's known. It's been found that they are married. You see that? So remember, that's because the people needed to know, like, oh, she's married to somebody. He's married to her. You get that?
Yeah. In case somebody tried to betroth her.
Right. In case somebody tried to betroth her. Hey, she's single? Oh, okay. Hey, this is a single sister? Let me go ahead and talk to the father, right? And set that up. You get that? Right. So y'all get this, right? The proper way was you would go to the father, you would set up the agreement, and then you would go lay with her, right? But Moses has wrote it in a way to remind us, wait a minute, you laid with her. So now you got to still fulfill the promise. That's why it says that first. That's why it says if she wasn't betrothed and you laid with her, then you got to go to the father. And give him the money, and that's your wife. Y'all get it? What?
I don't want to go too far off, but as far as today's times would go, what would the 50 shekels of silver be?
I think, what was it, $14,000? Yeah, it was like, and we can double check that. I think we looked it up before. It's like 14. Yeah, that's what I'm charging for my daughters. I'm just messing with you. Right? Like, you want to marry my daughters, you got to come up with about 15. It's going to be about $30,000. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
No, that was back in the ancient days. And I'm joking on that. All right?
It ranged from.
Got to be clear in case they try to cut that out and be like, see, they over there selling their dog. That was a joke. All right? What's up?
No, I'm just curious. So, a lot of us are just now coming into it already with our situation.
Yeah.
How should we go about dealing with the fathers of our race? Should we try to?
You're kind of way past all this. Okay. You're way past all this.
I'm too in, so
yeah. Think about it. Like a lot of us in the truth, you're way past this. So you still, obviously, like anything, honor the father and the mother. You respect their parents. You know what I mean? And they know y'all together.
Yeah, I was just
it's kind of way past that.
If I should try to set up some type of payment arrangement with them.
Oh, nah. I mean, this was our custom back in the days. The money custom. Negroes would be broke as hell. Right? You'd be broke as hell. And then, there's some semantics in there that, I don't really want to put on blast, but I'm going to. They were virgins. You were paying for purity. The women. Listen, they were not only virgins, these women were raised to know how to be a wife. So you were taking an asset from the house. So she knew how to clean, cook, sew. You see that? Go give me where Abraham sent out the servant to go.
For Isaac.
Yeah, real quick, and then give me the other one. Flip that and get the other one where Isaac sees her and they run and everything.
I got
right. Okay. All right. So the value of the woman. Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much. It's been. Let me say this. Not lessening the woman, y'all. But I'm answering his question. All right. So don't get your feelings in this. He's asking why we ain't paying, because remember their value was based on them being a help in the house. You know, you get with a woman now, she be like 35 and don't know how to damn cook a pack of ramen noodles.
Right, yeah.
Right? You know, she don't know how to cook. She looking at you like, cook? Nigga, please, I Uber Eats. You know, so that's why we don't really, and remember, we're not in our kingdom. A lot of these times, those things are way past that. There's many variables that we could talk about. Now, that being said, if you're new, right, and you're not in a married situation, you know, try to take the steps to at least communicate with the parents, and you know, and say, hey, I'm gonna take your daughter, me and your daughter. I mean, people still do that somewhat, right? So, well, our people in the hood, we lost all damn morals. Rap music, I know I sound like I'm in the 90s, but rap music done killed all that. You know what I mean? Niggas just meet a woman, hit it, and then jump to the next woman. So that's broke us.
Fathers on the like they kind of let their daughters do whatever their daughters are gonna do.
Yeah, it's your life. Yeah. If you want to be bisexual, pansexual, transsexual, then do what you do. So you see how we got to get a whole lot of stuff back in order. That being said, we're Hebrew Israelites. We still try to keep the laws to our best ability. So, you know, do I need to meet your dad? Oh, no, my dad ain't messing with me like that. My dad is dead. My dad is in prison. And then you see that? It's a whole different story, right? Right. So where are we at?
This is Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1.
Okay, go there real quick. Let's jump straight to the point, and then we'll jump over to Exodus 22, verse 16. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1.
Start at verse 2.
Come. Verse 2. And Abraham.
Okay, let me say this, because we didn't take into account that there was going to be a lot of marriage questions. The topic is on Mamzars. Are y'all understanding so far that a bastard is not someone coming from a marriage because they didn't have a certificate? Do y'all get so far that marriage, according to the Bible, was when you first lay together? Right, y'all get that? Right. Our people are carnal as hell. They always want to apply money to some situation to solidify the spirituality. There was something spiritual in the bond when a man and a woman lays together. That is beyond a piece of paper. That was the semantics of what the Father had set up, and we're going to go there too. But I'm just showing y'all that our people always do that. If I ain't got a ring on it, then I'm not his. Really?
Do you truly respect the ring?
Yeah, like you don't respect the ring. And that's why they get married with these women, and then what? 2 weeks later, 3 weeks, a year later, they're like, yeah, I'm not, nah, we're done. Because they don't really understand it's a spiritual bond. Right? Their mind's supposed to be joined together. And that's how you're able to take, like, think about it. What relationship you gonna get in and be married to somebody and not have issues or problems? That's what a marriage is. You think about that. So if you laid with a woman, you don't, infatuation time, how long did it take you for infatuation time to dissipate? Yeah, dissipate.
Fade away.
Yeah, like your infatuation is like y'all ordering steak and coming to the house, smiling, salute brothers. Hey, what's up, Ak? Oh man, we finished champagne and Netflix and eating steaks.
Wow.
Right. When?
Still,
All I'm saying, that's what brothers be doing. But that lasted how long?
still going.
It's still going? Okay. Well, I can tell you how. But
after about 4 months.
After the infatuation time, and you start seeing his snot balls,
right?
You notice that she got a thicker mustache than she usually does, right?
A couple skid marks,
right? You see his skid marks. Hopefully not her skid marks in the thong. Ooh, yeah. But you know, you start to see each other. Then you start to see that he plays the Xbox more than you thought he did, and he's not as responsible. Now you're getting into the marriage. You get into the marriage. Like if you thought you came in the door, especially during this time, like you were gonna get a sister or a cat that's pure right, you guys are in some dream. Everything has to be work. And much more during these days. So the qualities of the spirit, is going to is going to be have to be more in you to bring that marriage through the ages, right? All right. So read where we at.
Genesis chapter 24 and verse 2.
And
Abraham said unto his eldest servant,
right,
of his house, that ruled over all that he had,
right,
put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth.
Go ahead.
That thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites.
Right. So he was reminding this servant that was going to go set up the marriage, not to deal with no Hamites. We did not mess with Africans, bro. The Most High, from the beginning of our inception, he did not want us to touch no Hamites. For some reason. He was like, listen, don't deal with them, don't marry them, don't mess with them, don't have babies with them, nothing, right?
The customs are strange.
Yeah, it is.
Very
weird.
strange customs.
And when you say Hamites, Egyptians, Ethiopians, Africans, South Africans, those are Hamites. They were known as the Canaanites, Jebusites, Gergesites, Philistines. Phoenicians. He was like, don't go mess with them, right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 4. But thou shalt go unto my country.
Thou shalt what?
Shalt go unto my country.
Right.
And to my kindred. And take a wife unto my son Isaac.
Right. So what is going on here?
Keep it within the kin.
No, let's stick to the point of the question you asked. And wait, hold on. I said no presumptuously. You are correct. But I'm asking, do you see, according to what we were going over in Deuteronomy 22:28, what was the first process that was supposed to happen? You what? The father was setting it up. He was already setting up the servant to go get his son a wife. See, but what we was doing and why the law had to come, we would creep, so I creep. Yeah, right? You keeping it on the down low, you trying to hit old girl and then act like, oh, she ain't my rib. Nah, Moses was like, squash that. You laid with her, you gonna have to commit and do and be her husband. You're not just gonna make whores out of the daughters of Zion. You weren't gonna just hit it and quit it.
Right.
But this was the proper way to do it. You go set it up ahead of time. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And the servant said unto him, peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest?
Right.
And Abraham said unto him, beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again.
Right. So basically he was like, listen, what about if the woman don't want to come? Right? Because he said, go to the kindred, go to my kindred, go to my people, and get him a woman of that, from amongst my people. He said, well, what about if she don't want to come? You know, and he's just trying to make sure he fulfills his part of the what?
The obligation.
The vow. They put each other on they grabbed each other's thigh. It was the commitment to the vow. And his servant would commit to that. You see that? Yeah, grab his thigh. They would grab each other's thigh and say, okay, I'm committing to this vow. Right? Or, you know, right? I'm vowing to this and I will do it. I'll stick to it. Right? Once again, vows are important. Go ahead.
Verse 7. The Lord God of heaven.
All right, now, so we get that. The servant took 10 camels. Let's jump down to the point. Verse 15.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 15. And it came to pass.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, yeah. Read 12. Read quick.
Come. And he said, O Lord God of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also.
Right now, I know it seems like, what? What's going on here? Well, his analyzation of what character this type of woman was going to be was in this moment of her, how the water, how she would be courteous, how she would be respectful. In that little moment, the wisdom of this man that he sent, he was going to know, okay, that was going to be his woman. Right? Go ahead, read.
Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master.
Right, go ahead.
And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that, behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother.
Right, so they were kindred. Go ahead.
With her pitcher upon her shoulder.
Right.
And the damsel was very fair.
Read.
To look upon.
Read.
A virgin.
She was a what?
A virgin.
Read.
Neither had any man known her.
You see that? Stop. She was a virgin. It told you right there two meanings of virgin. She was a virgin and no man have known her. So because she was a young woman of marriageable age, and then he added, no man have known her, meaning laid with her. You see that? So, without going into reading all of this, because we'd be here all night with this, you guys get the gist of it. And you guys can go read that to show how Abraham set up the relationship. That's how we were supposed to do it. We were supposed to set up with the Father. Y'all get that? Now go to Tobit real quick.
This is Tobit chapter 7 and verse 13.
Tobit 7 and 13. Man, it's so much stuff that got to come out, bro. And it's like, and I'm trying to answer y'all questions in this marriage. It's so much so, if we don't get into the depthness of this Mamzar, don't worry, we'll continue it, all right? So, because we got a lot of new people out here, and they don't know these, they don't have these scriptures in they ammo yet. All right, so we got to give it to them. Where we at?
Tobit, chapter 7 and verse 14.
13.
13. Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias.
So that was the proper way for it to be done. Y'all listening? Read it again.
Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias.
Right. So originally, how was it supposed to be done? You set up the agreement. That was the contract. There was no, I had to go to the dang justice of the peace.
Right.
The contract was with the Father. It was an agreement with the Father. Brothers got it wrong. Like, I got to write up a contract. The contract was with the Father. What are you talking about? Right? Now, it's nothing wrong to have a license, but the license was with the Father if you want to be a technical Hebrew Israelite, how it really supposed to be done. So you can't be like, if you don't get a piece of paper from the justice of the peace, you're really not married. First of all, that's not what we're reading. You don't read nowhere in the scriptures that it had to be from the justice of the peace. It was with the Father you had to make the agreement, and then the Father will link them up together, and that marriage can be done. Y'all see that? What you got?
So I've been was gonna ask earlier, but I was gonna wait. But since we here, what I was gonna ask about, like, if you continue on, the next verse, they a lot of camps, whatever, utilize the next. Since we talking about them
gotta read it. Oh, I can't skip that part. Right? Go ahead.
And gave her to be wife to Tobias.
Right.
Saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses.
Right. Take her after the what?
Law of Moses.
Well, that's what we're talking about, the law of Moses. And the law of Moses doesn't say nothing about a justice of peace.
Right.
So what are we doing right now, Kenny? Killing that it has to be the justice of the peace or the government. It says in the law of Moses, they're referring to that custom.
Okay, so the verses we was reading previously was basically coming from the law of Moses.
Exactly. They're following the law of the custom of Moses.
Right.
You see?
I just asked because I wanted to just see if it was like to go back to the, like I don't know if it was in Deuteronomy, Leviticus, where it's
Deuteronomy 22:28. That's what we read, the law of Moses.
Okay.
Right? If a man betroth, we'll read it again. Go ahead.
And lead her away to thy father.
Uh-huh.
And he blessed him. And called Edna his wife.
Uh-huh.
And took paper and did write an instrument.
With who?
The father.
The father. Yeah, it wasn't with the court. It wasn't with the white man. He doesn't solidify. He ain't God. He ain't the Most High, and he ain't the damn father.
Time.
So you want me to go to my white daddy to tell me I'm married?
Right. Give you approval.
Like, he don't give us approval.
That is him giving you approval.
Like, bro, back in the days, we used to go to the father. Like, even during your time, right? What, you 50 something, right? Even during that time, back in those days, which was what? What, when you were about 15?
Early 70s, I can remember.
Yeah, early 70s, right?
Come there, and the parents sat on the porch, and you and the woman sat on the step.
Yeah.
You know, down talk.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Walking around the house and all of that stuff.
Nah, you didn't need the white man to tell you, oh, I'm married. You went to the daddy.
The white man wanted the money.
Yeah, he wanted the money, so he did it that way. So, when we go to the law, was the white man involved? So that kills that. It had to be through the white man. That kills that. You see that? Now there can be an agreement with the father still, and there is an agreement with you and the wife still in that. You see, but if you want to get technical law, this was the agreement with the father and the son, right? What they were going to do. Oh, excuse me. This was an agreement with the parents, right? And then the parents were bringing the son and the daughter, right? I had to clarify that. I would have beat myself up after this. To clarify that this was with the parents. Then the parents are linking them up, right? And then the money was transferred to the other parent, right? And then they can sign this agreement. And this is what you see here. He's signing the agreement. So read that again from verse 13. Let's be clear what's going on here. Go ahead.
Then he called his daughter Sarah.
Uh-huh.
And she came to her father.
Right.
And he took her by the hand.
Right.
And gave her to be wife to Tobias.
You see that? So the father. Right? Okay, we got that clear. I know y'all thinking like, well, yeah, that's easy. But no, a lot of cats are saying that it got to be through the white man. Right. You gotta have a marriage certificate, or else the Most High ain't honoring it.
Right.
What the hell? What?
So it go back to now. That's what you were saying when you went to Genesis, like, and then that verse, that scripture with God saying, with God bring together.
Let no man put asunder. Who brought them together? God, not man. So you're honoring this thing in the Most High, especially. Go back to Exodus 22, verse 16. And now we see why the law was written the way it was. Because why? I'm going to say it again, and I know y'all don't want to hear it, but niggers will be niggas. Our people, they don't want to honor righteousness. You know you laid with that woman. Yep. You know what I mean? Oh, no, she just topped me off in the back. Bruh, come on, bruh. I never hit it. I never hit it. Stop it. You got to honor that. Right? The law says, make not whores of the daughters of Zion. So read where you're at, Exodus 22 and 16.
Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16.
Yeah. Right, because entice means he convinces her. He what? She yeah, he spits that game. Right? He entices her. That is not what?
That is not betrothed.
Very important. She is not promised to nobody. She's not there's no other agreement out there going around. You see that? Go ahead.
And lie with her.
Right?
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Why is Moses saying it this way? When our forefathers did, the first thing was the father, the mother. Even Tobit shows us, right? You made the agreement. Why is Moses saying it this way?
Because we was doing it in the earth.
Because there's niggas in Israel and they would lay with the women and they wouldn't want to honor it. So he was reminding them, no, you're going to honor the right way. All right? Which is, go give the money to the father. You guys are going to make this agreement and you guys are going to honor this. Y'all see that? Right. Go ahead.
If her father utterly refused.
But let's say if the father don't want. He don't want this marriage to happen. Read.
To give her unto him. He shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Right. So you see what's going on? You had to pay something, the dowry of virgins, because you're taking from this father. So the father couldn't be like, what? Nah, you ain't marrying my daughter. You already laid with her. She's going to be the neighborhood hoe. So the father couldn't come back and be like, nah, I'm not with that. No, the law is telling us that got to be honored. He humbled this woman. Y'all get it? What?
Oh, I got a precept.
But can I say this real quick? Where's the ring? Where's the cake? Where's the ceremony? If anything we read about, it was what? Just an agreement and the dowry and some money for the pay. Wasn't none of all that, because all those things were adopted from the rings and stuff like eating cake is not wrong and having cake at your marriage is not wrong. But a lot of these things were adopted from the Greeks. Okay? But we did have ceremonies. Want to make that clear. Yeah.
So that's where the rings came from, like the Greeks.
Right. The rings, you know what? I got to do more research before I speak on the actual ring custom. But I know this. It's not in there. We don't read about it. Right? Now, did we wear rings? Yeah, we wore rings. But in the marriage ceremony, you don't read about rings or a ring specifically. Y'all get that? Y'all get this, right? Okay, yeah.
I had the precept, but with the rings, Quadazabet brought it out. It was Babylonian.
Right.
They used to do the leaf. And then the Romans, they took it and they used to do the ring, but it represented how, like money, like how much money you had. So the prestige of that man.
Right, and you see that how they stole our law and kind of what? Twisted it. And that's what you got now. You got a version now of our our laws twisted to these customs that are carnal and all about money, and it got to be now a Versace cake. Like, you know what I mean? It got to be like, it got to be a Prada dress, or else, you know, I'm going to be Bridezilla. Right? Madness, man.
And it's funny because cats be going broke on getting rings for these women. Like, bruh, you just spent 3-4 bands and you live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Now check this out.
Touch the nerve. He hit a nerve.
Hey, like, there's a few of us in here in 1 bedroom.
Wait a minute.
You get what he's saying? It's like,
a minute.
You can't even take care of the wife, but you're spending all this money. But can I throw this variable in here? You was gonna give us some cash though. That's one thing that is constant. We've been reading about that you was gonna be giving up 50 shekels. Did we find out how much that was?
Yeah, it was the equivalency from $4,000 to $13,000.
Right, and that's where I got the $13,000 from. So for $4,000 to $13,000. So you was gonna be giving up some money. But the thing is this: What did Israelites and what does America do with everything? They turn our spiritual thing into what?
Carnality.
What?
Carnality.
Carnality. Everything is about the carnal now. So it wasn't wrong that you were getting expensive things. It wasn't wrong that you were spending money and making your wedding lavish. But now that overrides the matrimony, that bond. They'll do all this, and then next you know, they divorce in 1 year. Right? They divorce in 2 years. So the carnal is being lifted up more than the spiritual. But I want to be clear that there was some fun happening. There was partying. There was some money. There was some feasting. You know, because we don't want to demonize that and then be like, well, you got to have a broke wedding. No, if you got the money, spend the damn wedding. It's a beautiful time. But does that override that you lay with this woman and that is the marriage first? You humbled her spirit, and then now you're going to let everybody know, hey, listen, we're together. That's first. It's not the other way around. Y'all get that? Anything on that, Kitty? Okay, all right, what's up?
And then I had the preceptor further go into how we did it.
Okay, hold that. Finish this real quick.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
If her father utterly refused to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Right. So you see that. So he had to pay, and this had to be a marriage. You weren't just gonna let this woman just hit this guy and then that's it. Y'all get that, right? So marriage, according to Moses, he solidified it when he kept saying, when you lay with this woman, when you lay with this woman, when you lay with this woman. Right? Not, oh, when you got the ring or you got the cake. No, when you lay with this woman, now go fulfill all the other duties of that marriage. Y'all get that? What you got?
Judges 14.
And what are you pulling this scripture for?
To just further show and edify on the custom, how you saying the parents went to the parents and made the arrangement. So just further.
So this goes with that Tobit, right? This goes with Tobit, the Tobit 3, and what did we go over?
Tobit chapter 7 and 14, 13 and 14.
Yeah, Tobit 7, 13 and 14. Go ahead, where are we at?
Judges 14, starting at 1.
Yeah, Judges 14 and 1. Go ahead.
And Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore, get her for me to wife.
You see that? Right to the point.
Right. I want that.
I want that.
Go get that.
So you couldn't just take her. Right? And that's why Moses came back and was like, but if you did, you gonna fulfill the law.
It's like you stuck
that's your woman, bruh. Right? But the proper way was you go to the parents first. Y'all get that? Okay, so we know that marriage is laying with that woman. Alright. Now, laying with that woman, you had to endow her to be your wife. So that's not, it doesn't make you a bastard because you didn't have a piece of paper. You didn't have the agreement between the father. Right? Okay. Now, you got the, just to throw this in here, when you, if it came down to where you guys were going to divorce, what did you give her? A bill of divorcement, right? Why? Because once you write that in stone, you got to know that there's no coming back. What?
If you gave a woman a bill of divorce, could she remarry, or would that be adultery?
Go there. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Deuteronomy. Where is it?
Deuteronomy 24 in verse 1.
Go to Deuteronomy 24 and 1. What about it?
It's fire.
Oh. Hey, listen, y'all like those jackets? Get your jackets, bring them through when y'all come to to the feast. And we go ahead and put the logos on there for y'all and all that stuff. All right, where are we at?
Deuteronomy 24, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
So, read it again from the top, I'm sorry.
When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no she find no favor in his eyes.
Right. So here's the thing. We're gonna find out that how Israelites were dealing in the law, right? The law had to be written. Why? For times like this. Like you got a nigga punching you in the face, and then brothers be like, "No, brother, that's your woman. I mean that's your man. Excuse me." But he's over there punching you in the face, smoking weed, burning you with weed. But because the scriptures say that you, his wife, you got to be bound to an ass whooping. So you got to understand why the law was set. Because the Most High knew it was going to be in our households. And I know I took the burning you with weed stems to another level. But it can go there, though. You know what I mean?
Ain't nothing. Yeah.
like, it can go there. The fighting, you beating him or she beating you. Nowadays, bro, we be in the mall and it be like she be whooping her man's butt.
Got him on subjection.
Right? Y'all been on World Star? This nigga getting punched in the face by her.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, please, just stop. Just stop it. Just stop. And he's like 7'3". And she's like 2'5", and she's beating it. You have that. So why is the law here? For these instances, right? Go ahead.
Because he had found some uncleanness in her.
Right.
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand.
Right.
And send her out of his house.
Right.
And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
That's what the law says. So when cats, see, here's the problem. So we got what the law says, but we got to apply what Yahweh Shai said too. Because he gave us the understanding of the law. But why was this law here? Go to Matthew 19:7. So it tells you you can divorce her and she can go be another man. Be with another man, excuse me. So go there to Matthew 19:7. And I know this became a kind of introduction to marriage, but like I said, we had to touch on it, dealing with this Mamzar point, so brothers and sisters can be clear that number one, a Mamzar is not someone that, because their parents didn't have a marriage certificate, now you're a bastard. That is not a Mamzar, okay? Because marriage was determined on what? Sexual relations, not on a certificate. So they got that wrong in one of the definitions. All right. Yep. So we are fulfilling, breaking it down, but we're kind of going a little deeper for y'all. Go ahead, read that scripture.
Matthew 19:7.
Yeah.
They say unto him, why did Moses then commend?
So no, let's start at 19 and. Verse 3.
Verse 3?
Yeah.
The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Right. So this is what we have to understand. That Israelites try to put away, and people try to disannul marriages based on every cause. Oh, she's argumentative. Well, then you got to teach her how not to be argumentative. Oh, he's spending all the money on the bills. Well, he needs to be sat down. I mean, on beer. Excuse me. He said he's spending all the money on beer, right? Well, we need to sit. You can't just be like, I'm done with this marriage. This nigga drinks too much beer. You can't, like, that's for any cause. Like, you're just making up reasons. Right? And that's where, in the law, they did not understand. See, they're thinking, well, she's unclean in my eye, and she gained too much weight in one of her thighs. Like, one of her thighs were big and the other one still stood skinny. And you like, nah, in my eyes, you know, I'm done with her. It's like, bruh, you divorcing her.
She pleases me no more.
Yeah, she don't please me no more, right? That's what happens when you get old with your wife.
Right.
You guys both get old together. But this is what we was trying to divorce for any reason. You couldn't do that. Right? Oh, she's out of order. Well, have you took enough of patience and time with her to even say she's out of order? Because you out of order. You just barely got off of what? The blunts, the drinking, the shooting, the this. So you can't, it doesn't work your way. It works both ways. You can't be like, well, she's not in order. Right. Because you just barely got in order. So everybody needs patience. Let's fall back a little bit, right? Read.
And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Right. So what did he do? He went back and took them to Genesis where we went to. He made them male and female, right? Go ahead.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife,
right?
And they twain shall be one flesh.
So Yahushua was showing them originally how things are supposed to be done. Now you're saying, well, if it was originally supposed to be done like that, why did Moses have to come with the law? Because he's going to tell us. Go ahead.
Wherefore, they are no more twain, but one flesh.
Right, you're no longer two. Well, you know, I do me, you know, in my relationship. What is Will Smith and his wife?
Entanglement?
But they're like, we respect each other's space, and we're separate.
I'm on one side of the house.
Yeah, I'm on, right.
Open
relationship. I think like this, and he thinks like that. Hell nah. Wow. You're supposed to be perfectly joined together in the same mind and same judgment.
That's what Scientology taught them.
Right, yeah. how to be whoremongers, adulterers, despising true marriage, right? Go ahead.
What therefore the Most High have joined together,
right?
Let no man put asunder.
Now, what is Yahushua telling us? What was originally supposed to be, right? Yahweh put y'all together, let no man put asunder. Read.
They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement?
Go ahead.
To put her away.
Right.
He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart.
Because what?
Hardness of your heart.
Now, are we not in that time still? So, and I say that in this sense. Originally, a Hebrew Israelite and a Hebrew Israelite woman are supposed to honor that marriage. But you got cases where men and women are lunatics. And they need to, y'all just take a break. Nah, you know what? They take a break and then they come back and they're like Rottweilers still at each other. Right? They're arguing, breaking stuff and doing these things that's chaotic, right? That's why that law is there. So you wouldn't feel guilty. See, the problem with this subject, when we talk about marriage, a lot of times brothers want to bring out one side where Yahushua said, but not understand the law Yahushua was still in because we needed the law. We needed both. We needed how to understand that your marriage got to be honorable and respected, and you can't just be sleeping around with everybody. But at the same time, in those instances where marriage is no longer a marriage but chaos and destruction, that there can be a divorcement. And that's what the law does. But Yahushua came back to show us, man, how it should be. Y'all get this? Was that clear? Okay, go ahead.
Suffer you to put away your wives.
Right, so this is what he said. Because of your hardness of your heart, you were so stiff-necked, rebellious, y'all couldn't work it out. You couldn't get it together. You couldn't forgive. You couldn't let go. You resented. You holding baggage from something he did when you first got together 20 years ago. You held that all the way to 30 years in the relationship. Same thing with her. You know, you did the same thing with him, and it's chaos. Y'all know what it is. Read. Right.
But from the beginning, it was not so. And I said unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
So he's reminding you, you couldn't just put away your wife for anything. So this is in the spirit. It's in the spirit with the law. Like, you couldn't just see, you know, her eye droop, she got in an accident and she lost part of her right side. You couldn't just be like, yeah, you know what? I got to put you away. You got to be like Esau. What Esau do when their wives get their legs cut off? They stick with them.
They doing triathlon with
they with them. You know what? I believe in her.
Right. Right.
I believe in her. I'm with her. Right?
Put her in the Special Olympics.
Yeah. Bro, you're going to have to honor that. That's your rib. Minus 2 legs. Right? That's your husband minus whatever. It couldn't just be for any little thing. Right? Y'all get it? Go ahead.
And shall marry another, committed adultery.
Right. So you weren't just going to put her away for any and every little thing. Oh, we argue too much. Well, then you got to counsel and get that worked out. Well, she don't she don't cook right. Well, he farts in his sleep all the time. You know what I mean? And then I snore, so I'm snuffing that in. Right? It is what it is, right? You can't, I mean, come on, man. What things did you come up with to break up with your rib and to be like, yeah, you know, I'm not messing with that no more? Why? What did she do? The only way you can really do that is if he or she is fornicating. You got spiritual fornication, and then you got physical fornication. We know the physical, running around, going around, sleeping with everybody, doing all that defilement. Then you got spiritual. She coming in trying to bring in Christmas trees, and no, we gonna eat pork, and you gonna eat it, and you gonna deal with it. Nah, you ain't got to deal with that. You can say like, listen, the Most High has severed us, right? A man's foe should be there of his own household. This relationship is done. Why? Because you are now wanting me to serve other gods, right? Or adultery. That's clear, right? Okay, go ahead.
And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doeth commit adultery.
Why? Because what it's saying is you're feeding. Like, you guys divorce for no reason, and then that man goes sleep with her. It's like a consistent adulterous nation, and that's what we got here. So that is how the divorce was dealt with. Now I know you're saying, well, which way is it? Well, the law is there for those situations for people that don't want to deal with righteousness and can't let go. And Yahweh Shai is reminding us that are in the law, understand that are spiritual, honor your marriage. It's simple. Y'all get that? Like, bruh, if you're a wise man, a spiritual man, don't be coming with, oh, you know what, I'm going to cut her off. Unless she's against. Put that on mute. Unless she's against the doctrine, the word, and trying to come up against you. So, would they got anything on here?
This is...
Yeah. So, that's marriage. All right? It's 9 o'clock. You know how we do. We keep going and going and going and going. Y'all get it that the first part of Mamzar, we will finish up this Mamzar topic, but we squashed that if you thought a bastard was someone that didn't have the paper and had a child, that is wrong. All right? Kenny, what's on your mind? You sure? You're thinking over there. I can see him spinning. Yeah, all right, man. If you got something, shoot.
Bakar Gabar said, Today divorce is used like a reset button.
Right. Exactly. Like, you know what? You know, I just realized her breath stinks all the time, and I just wanna wipe the slate clean. No. Tell her to floss. Tell her to brush her teeth.
She probably gotta eat right.
She gotta eat right, take care of herself. Yeah. So, you know, and that's for men and women, man. You know, I know it'd be funny, but it'd be the most ridiculous things that brothers come up with. And I know y'all thinking, well, you making jokes about it. No.
It's serious.
No. It's the most ridiculous things that brothers come to us with to try to get rid of a woman. Or she try to get rid of her man. Stop that. Y'all can't do that. Y'all gotta, man, use the scriptures and be righteous. Because the Most High knows your heart. And he knows the situation. Yeah.
And you know, it's beautiful because you're bringing this out. Just spiritually, just in the marriage. And it's showing you you're supposed to still have that patience and that long suffering and stuff that we went over those 2 classes. But then you got to understand at the same time, you're married. You're in the marriage with the Most High, so you wouldn't want to get divorced. You wouldn't want to get cut off,
right?
Because of your shortcomings. You still want that same mercy, that same leeway and forgiveness.
Yeah.
You got to be that same way with your spouse.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the Most High told us, he said, listen, he said to us that we were adulterous or rebellious. We were whores, but he took us back. You go back and read that Jeremiah 3rd chapter. He says, you adulterous. You went from every nation, sleeping with every god under the sun. And the Most High accepted you back. So it can't be any judgment. You got man whores and you got woman whores. You see what I'm saying? We're all filthy. So we got a lot of correction to do. All right. Any questions on there before we end it out?
No questions. McCarver Barrows is saying, well, tomorrow's Sabbath morning class will be on this channel.
Right. So they're traveling. They're going to be leaving from Houston tomorrow. So we're going to be hosting Sabbath morning class online. So that means that we need readers. Y'all show up. All right. We need 7 readers. All right. So brothers and sisters can get class online. All right. So, yes, we will be hosting Sabbath morning class tomorrow for y'all online.
Appreciate the question.
Yeah.
I thought we had to wait till 1,000 to go live.
No, we're gonna do it. Huh? No, 1,000?
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers.
That's the street speaking.
No, that's for street speaking. Yeah.
We're live now.
We're live now. That's for when you want to use your phone out in the zone. Okay. You have to have 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, but we will be hosting. Yeah, we're gonna do it on this channel.
He said what time?
All right.
He said what time?
What time is gonna be 10 o'clock?
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. So what time is it in Houston?
If they start at
9
7,
o'clock.
if I watch theirs at home, I have to watch it at 8, so they probably have to catch ours at like 9.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be here Houston time, but there's so many other brothers, Atlanta, New York is the
Arkansas.
same.
It's really central.
Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be 10 o'clock our time, y'all. All right. Any other questions before we leave out?
8 a.m. Albuquerque time.
Any more questions?
No, sir.
No? The brother never hit us back on that one question he had?
No, he didn't.
All right, remember, we're not trying to not get into your question. We just want to be clear. You know, I tend to go off of what I'm thinking the question is, and I want to answer your question, not what I think the question is. So remember, it's not to say y'all don't ask questions. All right, so if that's it, let's salute everybody online. Shalom. We'll see y'all in the morning. All right, remember, it is...
Six chill, for real.
Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah. This chapter will never leave Judah.